All right, what's going on, Bulls Nation? So we are currently in the Patrick Beverly effect. So right now we need a guy, but there's intangibles. But what's going to happen to him after the season? What should we do? We'll talk about that right after this.
You're listening to Chicago Bulls Nation, your home for all things Chicago Bulls.
All right, Bulls Nation. So the Pat Beverly effect. Whatever you want to think about the signing, whether it's good or bad, whatever the case is, we needed him now, right? We don't have a point guard. We tried the IO experiment. It worked a little bit, but for the season, the expectations, it wasn't enough, right? So we brought him in, got out Goran Dragic, and so far, I would say I'm happy with the results. It's not the life-changing event that I wasn't expecting that, right? It's Patrick Beverly. We didn't sign Michael Jordan. But the intangibles that he brought in, I'm pretty happy with what it is. Now, the question is, beyond the season, do you bring back Patrick Beverly? Now, let me get this straight. Any team could use a Patrick Beverly. Any team, contending team, rebuilding team, team on the upstart, because he does have this intangibles, not even the numbers, right? Like, he brings a certain attitude to whatever locker room he goes to, that if you are a contending team, you need that moxie. Now, if you are a rebuilding team, for example, if the Bulls decides to sell off their players, right? Like, meaning trade Zach, trade DeMar, go young, concentrate on Io, Kobe perhaps, and Patrick Williams, you still need a Patrick Beverly. You need a vet on your team. Now, what he could bring with those young guys, if we decide to go that route, is the attitude, the dog in them. Patrick Beverly has gone through a lot. He went to Europe. He was undrafted. He fought his way to the NBA, and maybe he can instill that same mentality to somebody like Ayo, who's a second-round pick, to Patrick Williams, who's being doubted and all that stuff. Maybe, just maybe, he'll rub off of them, right? So whatever the case is, I can make an argument that Patrick Beverly has a room for the team. Now the question is, how much should the Bulls pay for that services? Now, I guess it all depends. If, let's say, we keep the core, meaning this entire exact team. I don't know why we would do that, but let's say DeMar, Zach, Vooch came back, because the front office just doesn't want to accept. They have it in their mind that, hey man, if we just do some little tweaks here and there, maybe it'll be something different. Or maybe not that. Maybe they traded Vooch in a sign and trade, kept DeMar last year of his contract. Still I see the argument of keeping Zach the way he's playing right now with his age. I see that argument, right? But let's just say we went that route. Depending on Lonzo's health, and from all the reports that he might get a third surgery, it's not bad to keep Patrick Beverly around. Honestly, even if Lonzo plays, he could be a nice backup. At that point, I would probably let Kobe go, and then he would be the backup point guard, and I'll put Ayo as the backup two guard at that point. That's probably the route I would, if we go that route. I'd probably, because I know money's going to be tough. It's the Chicago Bulls we're talking about here. They're not going to pay into the luxury tax for Patrick Beverly. But I'd probably let Kobe walk. Keep him around if we're going to keep that core. Now, if we're not going to keep that core, because imagine, even if Lonzo plays, for example, you don't want to overextend Lonzo. And you still don't have the dog in your team if you let him go. So we're back where we started, because even if Lonzo's there, yes, defense are there, and yes, we do have a point guard, but we need somebody like him, somebody who has the fire, the intensity in him to instill that, let's say, on Zach or DeMar or the young guys, to Patrick Williams, and all that stuff. So I am not opposed to keeping him there. Now, if we go to the other route, where we traded Zach and DeMar, at that point that's an easy answer, because I think we were going to have the cap space and the money to retain Patrick Beverly. Now it's up to him whether he want to stay here or not, knowing that he's going to play a mentor type role in this team. I don't know how much you want to give him. I would say around 10 million. That's probably the number. I don't know. Like, I haven't looked at the cap situation yet. I know we're over the cap. We're under luxury tax hold. Depending on what we do with Vooch and all the other guys, if we retain him or not. But I think a fair price for somebody like Pat at this stage of his career is around 10 million. If you can get him for lower, then by all means. Right now he's making like 13. He signed a 1-year deal with the Timberwolves before he got traded. Of course, he's getting older. His game is a little bit different now, so you can expect a decline in the number. But giving the Bulls a hometown discount, perhaps, and the fact that I said, what I said with his age and his play, I think that's a fair price. If you can get him lower, even better. Even better. If you can get him in the Caruso range, which is around 9 or 8, man, that's even a better deal. But I wouldn't be opposed any day of the week to have Patrick Beverly on the Chicago Bulls. Hey, the only thing I would say that prevent this is if Derrick Rose, because that would be a hell of a comeback. And you can imagine 2 Chicago boys playing here, but at that point we have like 300 point guards. So if I have to choose between him and Derrick Rose, depending on the need, but I don't know. It feels like Patrick Beverly is more of a what the Bulls need right now, which is defense and intensity. Derrick Rose is more of a nostalgic feel. Honestly, it's hard to judge because we haven't seen Rose a lot this season, so we don't know how much he has left in the tank. Is he just going to be a novelty? Now, if we're going to rebuild, might as well get Derrick Rose and Patrick Beverly here and at least make it a fun season. If we're going to get rid of DeMar, hey, get those guys in, make it a fun season, and call it a day. We're going to lose anyway. If we're going to rebuild, you want to suck as bad as possible. So might as well get this hometown boys and make it a fun, at least an enjoyable season when they come in. You got him, Ayo, and D Rose. Man, that would be a small lineup, but it'll be fun. But we're expecting to lose, because right now we are not expected to lose, at least in the beginning of the season. But that's where I stand on this. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you guys want to keep Patrick Beverly beyond the season? Get rid of him? Regardless what the case is he just a head case to you? Love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. I'll really appreciate that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.